Hello everyone. So right now I'm going to do both the code workthrough as well as the project demo in this video. So first of all, let's do the code workthrough part. So as you can see, I have basically two main applications under my project folder. So those are the client-side application and the server-side application. Since I'm doing the project option 2, but I will have a user facing web application that handles user commands, user file uploads, and everything, and also a server side command application that interacts with the Google cluster that's running a map reduce job. So let's just first go to the client's application. So the client's application isn't really that interesting because it's just a simple React.js application, and those are just like the pages, the components, blah blah blah. But one thing that is interesting is the file upload part, which fetches, which sends the request and fetch response from the client's application, and then store the data from the Hadoop map reduce job to the local storage in a browser, because this whole application will try to get the data from the local storage. So we're trying to put the data from the Hadoop map reduce job into this local storage. And so this is basically the interaction between the client side and the server side. And let's go to the server side application. So those are my mappers and my reducer, because those aren't really being run or being fed into the map reduce jobs. Those are just, first of all, they are for demo purposes, as well as they are for testing purposes of the map reduce job on my local machine, or before they are fed into the map reduce Hadoop cluster. And this is my server application. So from here, this is the entry point or the API that contacts to both the client's application as well as the server, the Google Cloud Platform cluster. So basically, we're getting the request from the client application that contains the files that we needed to upload to the Hadoop cluster in order to run the job. So, and then we are saving those files into a temp directory on the service application directory. And then we're trying to transfer the files to the master node using SCP. So right here, as you can see, I'm using the gcloud commands provided by Google GLI. So basically, I'm spawning a new process that run these commands, and I'm also waiting for it to finish. And those are the arguments that I'm providing in order to SSH into my Hadoop cluster master node. So after transferring the data from the server application, I'm going to also transfer the data, or to put the data from the local file system on the cluster into the Hadoop distributed file system. As you can see, this is the command that I use, and those are the commands that I use to SSH into the cluster, just like I did before. So those are the commands that I actually use to transfer the files from the local directory on the cluster into the HDFS. So after this is done, and those are the the main part, the part that I run the Hadoop MapReduce jobs. And this is the commands that I use to run the job. As usual, those are provided as arguments fed into this gcloud commands. And after the MapReduce job is successfully done, the output files will be also on the Hadoop distributed file system. So we're going to transfer the files from the HDFS to the local system on the cluster. So after it's done, there's the final step. So basically, we are going to transfer the output files on the cluster into our local directory on the server-side application. Still, those are the arguments that are provided, and I'm waiting for the job to finish. Last but not the least, we're just kind of like transferring the data that we got from the MapReduce job, and we're going to transfer the data, and then we're going to send the data back to the client's application. So this is a brief code demo, and then I'm going to show you the project. So this is my user-facing web application. So we're going to select files, and we're going to load the engine. As you can see, like, my spinner isn't really spinning. I don't know why. But it is running though. We can check the logs from the server side. See, we already transferred the input files, and then we created the input directory. So right now, I think it's running the MapReduce job. The whole process is gonna take roughly a minute because it's contacting the G-Cloud cluster with SSH and G-Cloud commands that they all need authentication, and SSH also takes time, and also like network delays and everything. So it's gonna take roughly a minute for the whole process to complete. Okay. Seems like our MapReduce job is done. Let's check the logs. So yeah, I think those logs indicate that our MapReduce job has been successfully run, and it's been stored into this output directory, and this is the directory on the Hadoop file system. Yeah, I think pretty much it's done, and we can check our web application. Yeah, so engine was loaded, and the indexes were constructed successfully. Let's first search for terms. So let's try to search for like Henry, HEN, and you can see all those terms that actually contains our search term, which is hen. So we have Henry here with a frequency of 255, and then which also contains hen, and when also contains hen, and hence, henceforth, then, when, those fancy words that Shakespeare used. And we can also like try to modify the terms. Let's just search for different terms like what, and as you can see we have what, what's, hook what, time what tier. I don't know what it is. We're gonna try to search for like in, and then we have prince, king, points, thanks. We can try to go to next page to see what's going on. So we have since, things, and those are the corresponding frequencies, the file name, the folder, the ID. Yeah, so I think pretty much we're done, for our search term demonstration. Let's go back to search, and this time let's try top n. So let's enter our n value. Let's try like 10. So yeah, it gives us like 10 top n frequency terms. So we have like the top one, which is the, and then top 2, which is 2, top 3, which is U, and Henry, though, that, Prince, with, this. And we can also like change it to a different term like 5. And then yeah, you can see it shows us like the top 5 terms, and we can go to different term. 15. Yes. It gives us the top 15 terms. Yeah, so pretty much this is the whole project demonstration of the final project option 2, which basically contains the client facing web application, and also like the server application that I showed you, that like interacted and submitted jobs to the Hadoop cluster, and also like just like doing everything behind the scene. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you again.